That means you can start allowing people inside. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Countdown is already running. You can start allowing people inside.
Okay, sure.
Jangan deh.
Yo, jaga.
Yo, Satya.
And that will in the emails.
Hello all, Ibuan. Hope you're able to see me. One thumbs up if you're able to see me, please. Yes, fantastic.
Good
Great.
evening, Balaji sir.
Good evening, Tianji. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Great, great. And we have come to the last day, and we are all good
Yeah.
students, good school. We have completed all our syllabus on time. We are running. We have
Yeah.
completed syllabus. In fact, at least a half a day early, we have completed the syllabus. Great. And today I'll just start off with the presentation. Just give me 1 minute. Hope you're able to see my slides.
No, I could not.
Can you all see my slide, please? Ibuan, can you all see Ibuan? One thumbs up if you can see Ibuan.
Bala, I could not see.
Anitaji, can't see Ibuan on the
No,
screen?
No.
You're unable to see. Okay, let me stop.
It is still starting the screen.
Okay. Let me start it again. I'm sharing the screen once again. Ibuan, can you see enough?
Yeah.
Yes, great. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Guys, let us start our day 8 program. We have 2 special guests, and most of the things I've already covered, so we don't have much of class today. Today, our concentration is to know how big the market of Ramayana Yatra is, apart from India as a country, where else we have seen Mr. Michael speaking yesterday from USA, and we have few more guests. Let us see them. Let us invite. Welcome to Ramayana Yatra training program. Myself, Bala Sankaratri. The author of my name is Ravana, popularly known as Sri Lanka's or Ravana's perspective of Ramayana. This is in association with Sri Lanka Tourism Promotional Bureau, so Sri Lanka. And we're getting into day 8 session. And let us start the day 8. There's nothing much. We have already cleared. We have one guest here. I will be introducing the guest. We have 2 guests here. I'll be introducing the first guest today, Mr. Shantanu Gupta. Let us see. And this is Mr. Shantanu Gupta, and he's an author, TEDx speaker. He is a very popular speaker, and he's a political analyst in India. He's the founder of Ramayana School, and he has written many books. One of the book is on the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, and he has written many other books. He has written the book on India's football dreams. He has written a book on Modi's political party, and his book is also been nominated for Indonesian University for their political sciences. And I'm just Shantanu-ji, over to you, please.
Namaskar, Balaji.
Namaskar.
Hello, everyone. Namaskar, everyone. Hello, everyone. And
Shantanu-ji, just a small intro. We are doing these classes since 24th of this month.
Oh,
and today is the last day, 8-day session.
Okay.
So day 1, we had the orientation program.
Okay.
And also we have covered Balkand.
Okay. Beautiful.
And day 2, we have covered Ayodhya Kand.
Okay.
And from day 3 onwards, we have covered the Ramayanam from Aranya Kand till Yuddha Kand in the perspective of Ramayanam, in the perspective of Ravana.
Right.
Day 6, we have completed that. And yesterday, that is day 7, we have gone through on how to make a Ramayana Yatra in a proper way.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
This is what, and we want you to give light on, is Ramayanam only confined Ramayana tourists interested who wish to travel to Ramayana? Are they confined to only India as a country, or is there any other bigger scope?
Okay. And I see a lot of people. I'll see more than 60 people. Can you just tell me a little bit about the people? I see a lot of wonderful people.
So who have participated, if I have to divide the whole group into 4 parts. So the first 2 parts are the majority crowd, where they'll be covering 90% of the crowd. So those are Sri Lankan tourist licensed guides, licensed by the government, and the Sri Lankan destination management companies. They are basically the tour operators. So destination management company is like So people, Indian travel companies or any country outside the world, anywhere else. So
Right.
say suppose one company, some X company in India sells a package to Sri Lanka.
Right.
It is any one among these DMCs who will be holding the X company's name card and do the operations there in Sri Lanka.
Got you.
So they are the actual ground handlers.
Beautiful.
This is one, and we have a couple of government officials also without their videos in participating in, and we have some hotel industry people also participating in, but majority of them are guides and DMCs.
Oh, that's an amazing audience and very worthy audience, and I think we see the whole world through guides, right? So I think wherever we go, Anita ji, Anita ji, namaskar. She's a very good friend,
Namaskar,
and
namaskar.
she was also used to do a similar kind of job in Thailand, right? An amazing museum there, right? I'm sure you'll hear from her. I'll speak only for 10-15 minutes. So yeah. So I think guides are our window to any tourist place, to any country, any city. So hello to all of you. I've been to Sri Lanka once as a tourist around 2 years back. I went with my family, my wife, and my one son. I only been to Colombo. I spent 4-5 days there. Such a lovely city. I was able to relate to it. Our auto was auto, and we know autos, Anita ji, very common, right? They call it tuk-tuk. And very similar food. My wife is South Indian. She's from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana area. Very similar kind of food, very similar kind of weather, very similar kind of people, and it was lovely. But when I went there, because for us the story of Ramayana starts from Ayodhya and goes till Lanka, right? In Colombo itself, from airport to any other place, I did not get to notice anything which enticed me to go to a Ramayana circuit, right? So that's a gap maybe all of you will fill now. So what I do a couple of things as Balaji said. I come on TV, on Indian TV political debates. I write books, but one thing I do, I run something called the Ramayana School, and we go to lot many countries through online mode and teach the leadership lessons from Ramayana. So till now we have reached to almost 14-15 countries, to US, to UK, to many countries in Europe, many countries in Gulf countries like Oman, like UAE, many countries in Southeast Asia like Thailand, Indonesia, Singapore, also to Far East, Australia, New Zealand. So, and who participate in my workshop is largely families, Indian diaspora. Indian diaspora is huge, right? So in US, in UK, in a lot of parts of Europe, Southeast Asia, there's a huge Indian diaspora and very economically well off. They're in technology places, they're in consulting places. And when Balaji and all the guides and all the wonderful participants, when I explain my Balakan to Ayodhya Kand to Aranyakan to Yuddha Kand, I used a lot of proprietary tools. We have copywritten tools. So one is, let's say, leadership lessons for principle. One is something we call it Ramayana idioms and phrases. We do a lot of quizzing. But a very important tool, which loved by everyone, is called the tourist attraction. We call it tourist attraction or religious tourism or Ramayana tourism. So whenever I teach Balakan, I tell what are the places related to Balakan. So in Ayodhya, what are the places? Dashrath Mahal, let's say Kanak Bhavan, right? These are the places. If Mithila, Janakpuri, there's a place, right? Then we come to Chitrakoot, Panchvati, then we go to Kishkinda, where Rama met Sugriva. Then we come to Rameshwaram, where Hanumanji took a flight. And Sundarkand will say, okay, when Hanumanji is taking a flight, we are also taking a flight to Sri Lanka. And there we start telling about a lot of places about Sri Lanka. And I cannot tell you how crazy people get, how enthused people get just to even hear about these places. Because to my mind, to our understanding, to my understanding, I have reached to almost 3,000-4,000 Indian diaspora till now, Balaji, through my broadcast. And people, unfortunately, don't know about many of these places in Sri Lanka. They know the story of Ramayana. They know a lot of part happened in Lanka, but they don't know. So when they see Sita Amman temple, when they see Sita Kotua, I show the pictures and Balaji has provided for those pictures. A lot of people write in chat, I'm getting goosebumps, right? Like for India, it's a very emotional topic, right? For Indians, it's a very emotional topic that any part of Ramayana also happened there, right? So when I'll say, in fact, a lot of the people, Balaji, will be surprised. A lot of the people who are in US and UK, they say, okay, India, we keep coming like very often. But as soon as the lockdown is over, I want to go to Sri Lanka and
Yes.
see all these places.
We have a lot of guides ready for that now.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
But only problem, or not a problem, but only challenge to all of you guides, right? Indians knows a lot of Ramayana, right? An average Indian, like an average Indian, know a lot of details about Ramayana. So you have to get over at least your fact level, your story narration, maybe over average Indian, right? Because Indians, even the Indians who are living in, even the kids, I'll send you a couple of videos. There is a boy called Ved in New Jersey. His name is Ved in New Jersey. And that day, Anita ji, he came that day
Yes.
on your session also with you for the Norway audience.
Yeah.
And he answers every question. You ask any complicated question, Balaji, from Ramayana, and this 5-year-old boy from New Jersey, in his half-broken English and in his very innocent voice, he answers. And this is a 5-year-old boy, right? So only challenge and only task for all the guides is maybe I'm sure you already taught them, and maybe you will also prepare some course material for them, maybe a video material for them, so that they will become at least at par with the average normal tourist that will travel from an Indian diaspora. That's thing number one. But again, it's a huge population which has to be catered to if it's told properly. Now Indian government from last couple of years, 5-6 years, is promoting Ramayana circuit. Even Ramayana circuit was not very popular even in India. Like it's there, people know the couple of places. People know there are 5-6 places which are very famous from Ayodhya, Chitrakoot, Panchvati, Kishkinda, Rameshwaram. These places, but there are multiple small places, right? Which couple of people have traveled, right? But the places in Sri Lanka, people know about it. People heard about it. Something, okay, yeah, there might be something, but they will love to. They will love to, and I'm sure Anita ji will tell that how even many other countries, Southeast Asia, from Indonesia to Thailand to Philippines, they are big fans of the story of Ramayana, right? So I think if you guys are ready as a country, as guides, if in the airport I'll see something related to Ramayana, maybe a lot of Indians will change their plans. I'm telling you that's crazy Indians are about Ramayana, that they may even change their plans, right? As soon as they will see in the airport that there's something of Ramayana happening, I'm sure they will change their plans and detour, take a tour to whichever cities you want them to take to. Second thing, uh, when I talk to the character of Ravana, and that's a very tricky topic, right? When I talk to the character of Ravana, in India, people take it very easily. They don't find a big villain in Ravana. That's very interesting. In fact, Balaji came to a lot of our workshop when you talked about that Ravana is the one. King Ravana is the one who invented the game of chess. Ravana is the one who gave the musical notes to us. He was an amazing aeronautical engineer. Shiv Tandav, I know how many of the guys might be knowing Shiv Tandav. In fact, I'll say you should memorize Shiv Tandav, right? And you should start playing it. And because Indians love Shiv Tandav, and in a lot of Vishnu temples, a lot of Rama's temples, Shiv Tandav is being played. A lot of people play Shiv Tandav, and they know that the king Ravana, written the notes and sang Shiv Tandav, right? So that's why I'm saying relationship of Indians with Ravana is not very antagonistic. They want to learn even from Ravana. And in fact, in one of my workshop from Germany, I normally say at the end of my workshop, who is your favorite character and what do you want to learn from him? So normally, what is the common answer? Common answer is Hanumanji, to be very fair, right? Not even Ramji. The common answer is Hanumanji, but a lot of people say Ravana. A lot of people say Ravana and say, but he was very meticulous. He was very meticulous. And in fact, he said, because of him, we got to know Rama. We got to know what Rama represents for us, right? So Indians represents for Indians. Ravana also represents a part of the coin, and they want to learn from Ravana also. And a lot of the things are untouched also. Let's say a lot of the things that he discovered, musical notes, he discovered the game of chess, right? Some people know, some people don't know, but about Shiv Tandav, people are quite aware that Ravana written it, and they love singing it. They don't have any villainish feeling towards. But more and more they start coming to Sri Lanka. More and more they hear your version. I think it will be in fact a huge cultural bonding between India and Sri Lanka. I'm not only seeing it as just a touristic attraction. It will be a huge man to man, woman to woman, people to people understanding between the people of India and Sri Lanka. I remember during cricketing days, whenever India and Sri Lanka are not playing, I used to favor always Sri Lanka. Like if India and Sri Lanka are playing, for sure I'll favor my country. But if Sri Lanka is playing anyone, like anyone, Australia, England, Indians normally love Sri Lankans, right? And a lot of your players, you can find them in Delhi very often. A lot of our TV ads, your players are there. So your cricket players, maybe this is for the government officials, your cricket players are very popular. Like Sanat Jasurya, he comes to India very often. And even I attended a couple of events. I shook hands with him. I clicked a picture with him. They can be a very good brand ambassador, Balaji, because
Great.
they are very known in India. Like everyone knows them, right? Malinga, oh my God, how big a star he is! He's
Yes.
a superstar.
Malinga is
Like
superstar.
if Malinga walks on in Delhi street, oh my God, he will gather a crowd like a Bollywood hero, right? So Sri Lankan cricket stars are very popular in India, and you should use them for your advantage to promote Ramayana circuit. And I personally am looking forward as soon as this Corona lockdown is over. Maybe Balaji, maybe we too can
Yes.
take a tour and we'll take all the guides. We all will travel to all the places,
Yes.
and I'm looking forward for it. I'm homeschooling my son. I take him wherever I take him. So I'll get my family also, and it'll be lovely. And I'm looking forward. And what a lot of my students, almost 1,000 students that I have done my classes with, they are all waiting to come to Sri Lanka and see all the sites that are there related to Ramayana. Yeah, that's all I have to speak.
Great. That's a great input, Shantanu-ji. Just a minute. I'll just put back to a normal mode. Yes. Hello, everybody. I'll just tell you before introducing the next speaker. You have so many things to learn from the next speaker. I just want to say a few things. On the whole, we had around 186 unique registrations for this entire program. So of this 186 unique registrations, we had around 110 people who have participated in the complete training program. Of these 110, 65 have completed all your papers, all the 6 papers what we have given. We have sent you 6 papers and 1 feedback form. So all the 6 papers are completed by 65 people. So, and probably these 65 are deemed to be certified along with the Sri Lankan Tourism Promotion Bureau. So by end of today, the 65 people will be getting your certificates. Possibly we'll be sending few when this session is already happening. So there are 45 people who have the incomplete task. So 76 people have not attended. So we'll removing them. And the 45 people who have incomplete task, which means they have attended 5 tests, they have yet to give 1 more test. They maybe they have given 4 tests and they yet to give 2 more tests, 3 or 2 or 1, whatever. They have initiated giving the test, but they have not completed the test papers. Such kind of people, there are 45. I recommend all the 45 people, please finish your test papers by end of today or at most tomorrow evening, so that we'll finish the certification process and send those certificates for those people also. And now let me give you a small intro about Anita ji. Anita ji is a super lady. Let me see. This is Anita Bose ji. Anita Bose ji is an artist. She's an author, a social worker, and she's the first Indian guide in the National Museum of Bangkok. So she stayed there in Thailand for many years. So the guides can ask questions and how Anita ji used to get hang with the tourists, etc. And now she recently came back to India, and now she is the convener for the Global Ramayana Encyclopedia Project, which is in association with the Uttar Pradesh government, one of the state governments in India, and Ayodhya Research Institute. So, and she also published a book, and this is her book. And this talks about all the Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Laos, Cambodia, and Myanmar, the Ramayana, what is all about there. So I'm just stopping this presentation, and let me find Anita ji. Anita ji, where are you on my screen? Yes.
Yes,
And
I am here,
stopping
Bala.
you. Yes.
Yeah. Namaskar to all of you. Thank you very much for
Namaskar.
Namaskar. So for this opportunity to, at first I want to convey my respect, my love for all the Sri Lankan people, and I know that there is a very deep connection with Sri Lanka and India. It is not only the Ramayana, but I think many of you know about Swami Vivekananda, and Swami Vivekananda when came back from the America. So before India, Sri Lankan people give them and give him a very good gesture, very good welcome. So as a followers of Swami Vivekananda, I am always praised to Sri Lankan people, and my humble namaskar, accept my humble namaskar. So I am very happy to join here, and Shantanuji already said about your, and what the Balaji also told me, and I am very happy that there are so many guides in this program. As a guide of National Museum Bangkok, I am always feel very proud, and I am always feel very blessed that the guide is for me. Guide is the who is guide? Guide give the life to the stone. I believe this is our work. I believe that we give life to our history, we give life to our ancient culture. So we are not a simple person in our society. So as a guide, you should feel very proud, you should feel very happy that whatever we are doing for our country, we are doing for our heritage, we are doing for our entire world. So accept again my humble namaskar to all of you. So
Hi,
I
everyone.
will request Balaji that if you start my presentation, then I go through this presentation and I will.
Yes, it's just I'm opening your presentation. Just give me a
Yeah,
minute, please.
yeah, and this is a really very big opportunity to do something with the tourism, and Sri Lanka must be do something with this Ramayana trail, and Balaji is doing an excellent work with his workshop, and I hope you all get help from this. Okay, so I'm just waiting for my presentation. So that will be give you an immense picture that how the other part of the world, the other part of the globe, they follow Ramayana, and how this is impact in not only in their culture, but it is in their literature, in their livelihood, and in their tourism, everything. Am I audible to all of you?
You are audible, madam. 1 minute.
Okay.
Yes, audible.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So I think it's an honor for me that last 6 years, almost 6 years, I was the guide of National Museum Bangkok, and that National Museum Bangkok is the most important, and it is a very informative also for all the guides. And after my presentation, I will request to all of you that please go after the corona, after the lockdown, after when the world will become again, it will become back to her own way. So go and see that how one museum can guide the whole country, and the tourism, how it is linked with the tourism department, and how it is linked with the museum. It is very important because for us, I don't know about Sri Lanka, but for Indian people, we actually we went to the museum in our childhood as a with the parents, but we think okay, or otherwise it's from school or college, but we don't have that passion to go and see the things in museum, because museum is the proof of our culture, they preserve our culture. So we don't know about that thing. But when I went to Southeast Asia, and I stay there, and here you can see a beautiful building. The first slide, what you see here, this is actually belong from National Museum Bangkok. And in front of that National Museum Bangkok, you can see a 5 feet bronze image. See, he is the Rama. So when I entered the first time in 2014. I went there with my family. My husband transferred there, and as a passion to know the history, as a passion to know the culture, I went to visit many different museums. And when I entered the National Museum, Bangkok, I saw a Rama image in front of the gate of the National Museum, Bangkok. And it was so surprising for me because all of you know there are so many political reasons, so we could not put a big image of Rama in our museum at a glance, but they can do it. And this is the point when I start my journey. I start the guiding life, and then I start to research that how one epic can cross all the barrier, how one epic can cross all the boundaries of religious boundaries, language boundaries, everything can cross. And it was everywhere in Southeast Asia. So I started my research on this, and in this way, the 5 years I do the extensive research on the Southeast Asian countries, and then I came to write a book, and this presentation made on that book. So I will request Bala for the next slide. Here you can see our map is India and Sri Lanka. You can see the Indian influence. What is actually, it is a Ramayana influence. Because if you go through our history, so we all know that the maritime trading was a very big part of the civilization, of any civilization. Civilization could not make without the river, without the sea, the water. So this is a very important thing. So we all know about the Silk Route, that how the influence and the traders went to the up to the Iran, Afghanistan, up to Rome. But very few of us knows that the maritime route, and that maritime route, the trading route, was very important for whole Southeast Asia. And here you can see that how the influence came the various part of the India, and it reached to Burma, it reached to Sumatra, Bali, Indonesia, even up to the China. So that the entire influence went there. And it is a very important thing that two thing was very important for this spreading this influence. Maybe they are because India never attacked those countries, but maybe the culture, it is a, you can say it is a cultural spreading, and this culture spreading went there through two things. One is the Ramayana, another is the Bhagavad Gita. So the before Brahmanism, before Hinduism, it was the Brahmanism there, and before Brahmanism, it was the animism in Southeast Asia. But they followed those things from their core of the heart. And then it is very important. And that's why I want to say that there is a, under the Asian Economic Community or AEC, they always said that this region is attract over 100 million tourists each year. So contributing the 5% to its GDP cross in 2016 report, it was showing that the Asian aims to increase the GDP contribute to 15% by 2025. So there are so many planning is going on through this tourism. And it is the highest part of this tourism in Southeast Asia that based on through Ramayana. So if you go, you can see that how those Ramayana tourism and Ramayana trail, Ramayana routes is so important, play a pivotal role for the very important role for other people. So the recent Asian Tourism Forum, the Singapore Prime Minister also said that tourism is one way where by working together, we can get a win-win benefits. Growing our economics, creating the jobs, and drawing our people together. So it's a huge impact, because when I go to my next slide, I can describe that. See here, here's the Ramayana, and this Ramayana in Southeast Asia, each country, they have their own Ramayana. They have their there are maybe 2-3 type different variation, because it is also always true that Valmiki Ramayana cannot follow by the other countries totally. So there is localization, there are new story, there are adaptation, but they have their own Ramayana. So the Thailand Ramayana is the Ramakien, Indonesia Ramayana is the Kakawin, Malaysia is Hikayat Seri Rama, Philippines is Maharadia Lavana, Cambodia is Riamkar, Laos is Fralak Phalang, and Burma is Rama Jatra or Thiri Rama, because Burma have 13 Ramayana. Sometimes it is the literature, sometimes it's the drama form, but they have 13. Cambodia have 3. I will telling you slowly. And so you can see that how the Ramayana impact on Southeast Asia. Now the matter of the Thailand. We all know the Thailand, yeah, Thailand is a very much tourist-based country, because Thailand have not only heritage, they have different thing also. They have beautiful beaches, they have beautiful scenic beauty, they have food and all those things. But what I noticed that maybe there are this same point we also have, and Sri Lanka also have so many beautiful places, but the very few country who have this Ramayana trail. And what they did, the Thai government, Thai cultural ministry, even the universities, even the museums, they together every year they perform different type of tourism-based program. So here is the one is the Ramakien, another one is the Khon, another one is the Nangyai, Nang Tulung, and Hum. So what is the Ramakien? Ramakien is the literature form of the Ramayana in Thailand. And what is the thing is, the Khon is the mask dance. Here you can see lot of mask, thousand of mask here you can see that. And there is a very beautiful thing here, the first picture here, the first picture you can see the one person take a mask in a white dress. Actually, he is a Canadian guy. He came to India first for he loved the philosophy of Indian philosophy, but somehow he could not stay here, so he go back to Thailand, and he was the highest paid Hanuman character of Thailand. He learned the Khon dance. This is the mask dance. This is called Khon, and the second one is the Ravana mask. The mask is a very important part in Southeast Asia. So this is the thing that, and he is that young guy, he playing the role of Ravana. So before they take the respect, what I saw in them, the respect and the love and the passion, it is a dedication to the culture, dedication to the country also. So whenever, and the third one is a big picture, there you can see the lots of masks, and this is in the National Museum Bangkok Ramayana room, where all the masks from the Ravana side and the Rama side, and in between there, in the middle, there is a Ganesha also. So before they start any program, they pray to Ganesha, and then they take the particular mask and they pray for the good, acting and on those, and they start the thing. So it's a huge impact, huge on the Thai tourism also. And the Rama story in the painting also. There are 178 painting in the Ramayana in the Grand Palace of the Thailand. So the mostly the tourist, though that they just visit the Grand Palace, but the Ramayana tourists, they they went there and they saw that thing. And then the old palace. So if you have the old palace, if you have the ancient ruins, you can always show which is the relation with the Ramayana. Here the Prasat Pimai and the Phanamrung is very old ruins. It is far away from the Bangkok, but all the ruins, all the Prasat, the palace, all are made by the Ramayana story. Here you can see that Indrajit bind the Rama and Lakshmana, the Naga with the Naga Pasha, and all those things. And then this story is also in the lacquer work. So this is the famous lacquer work of Southeast Asia, and all those story is belong from the Ramayana. So in this way, they presented all over the country that how the Ramayana is working. It's a beautiful Rama image, and then it is the different form of the expression. The Southeast Asia is very famous, and I think in the certain part of India also, the leather puppet. So they make lots of leather puppet with the different Rama and the Ravana and the Lakshmana. The story belong from that, and they make so many different leather puppet. And there are so many people who are actually help to produce this thing. So if you saw there is a very big market of the very big economic, it depend on the mask from who is making the mask, that the particular dress, and then the jewelries which is related with the Ramayana, and then the tourism. So there are so many things that is related with this Ramayana in Thailand. And in the if you go to Thailand, I want to say a few more words. The Thai king is always take the name as the Rama. So the Rama 1, Rama 2, Rama 9, in this way, they're taking their names. And they famous, and not only that, the royal family of Thailand, they every, hello, and and the royal family of the Thailand, they actually write also Ramayana in the different, just like maybe it's 100 years ago, the last Ramayana rewrite. So the new king should be give some time and the passion, and they will continue it for the new generation. So this was the Thailand in a very short way. I just explained. Now it is the Indonesia. So one thing is, you just remember that I told that Ramayana is breaking all the barrier. So Thailand was a Buddhist country.
आपसे मेरा फिर फ्लो नहीं फॉलो कर रहे सबसे पहले तो आप सर
Can you all mute, please?
क्रॉसवर्ड पोस्ट करिए वहां बच्चे का नाम भी लिखा है उसका नाम भी लिखा है
1 minute, Anandaji. 1 minute, Anandaji.
Yes, sir.
Anandaji, can you
I
unmute?
have muted, sir.
Anandaji, please unmute yourself once again.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what I told that Thailand is a Buddhist country. The 95% is Buddhism, and now we came to the Indonesia, Java, Surabaya, Jakarta. So except Bali, that those country, whole part of the Indonesia are following in the Islam, but that is not a problem. So you can see the Ramayana in their postal stamp. You can see the Rama or Lakshmana or the any related image or related statue in anywhere, in not only in the Bali but in the other place also. So it is so important to understand that Ramayana is so different thing. You can, it is like a tools of humanity also, what I understand. Here you can see the manuscript. That manuscript is very old, and this is the Serath Rama killing. They said Serath Rama killing, a modern Javanese version of the Ramayana, and it is it is illuminated by the manuscript detail, and it was actually, now it was in the British Museum. And here in the under there's a just the right hand of the slide, there's a white book. It is in the Arabic, like an Arabic word, but it is the Ramayana. So the Ramayana is very famous in the Indonesia. When I went to Jakarta, the Yogyakarta, there is a famous city in Indonesia, that is Yogyakarta, and that Yogyakarta also, they believe that that is coming from the Ajodhya. There is a link with the Jogja and Ajodhya. So they believe it was a place of Rama, and there was a Jogya, or the Havan, the sacrifice had done there. And I was surprised to meet the manager of the Ramayana ballet group up there. And they said that, I asked that why you are doing every night the Ramayana performance, because you are not the followers of the Hinduism or like that. But surprisingly, she gave me a very beautiful answer that Ramayana is our ancient identity. And it is so surprising and so nice to know me that, okay, that see the barrier, the power of this epic. They break all the barrier and reach to the heart of the people. And here you can see that every day, every night actually, before the COVID, every night they perform Ramayana ballet. That is known as the Kakabin, and that Kakabin is the bridge of the between the two generation also. And here, the two places in Yogyakarta, one is the temple, the Prambanan temple. Every week, 4 days, they arrange the Ramayana there. And another one is the where you can see with the actors with me. They are actually the actors from the Pura Visakha. And this is the Mr. Dahanan who never stopped to spend the Ramayana nights, who arranged all this theater. He was, once upon a time, he was playing the role of Rama, and his wife was Sita, and now they are great older, so they changed the actor. And I will request Bala to just go back one more slide. I want to show, yes, this is the coins. This coins is the Rama, Sita and Lakshmana it is from the Surabaya Museum. It is from 14th century. And another one picture, this is from also Surabaya. This is a modern one, and they sell it in their super mall. You know, the people of Surabaya, there is hardly any percentage of Hindu people. That's not a matter. But the Surabaya mall, they are decorated their souvenir section with the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. So this is one piece. Okay, so the next slide, the next one. So here I want to show you that it is where I went actually, that is called the Majapahit, the last Hindu dynasty of the Indonesia, because it was a very old relation with India and Indonesia. There is the Sailandra and the Srivijaya dynasty, but the Majapahit, very few people know about the Majapahit. And that Majapahit dynasty create the Ramayana. They wrote the Ramayana again. And here you can see one big Hanuman image in the left hand side, and in the right hand side a beautiful temple. But the temple is totally different style of art and architecture. So all those things are important. And the main thing is in these three pictures where you can see one person is praying like a meditation, and there is a big pond like a lake, and the people are sitting there, they're taking bath, they're taking the water, and very surprisingly there is not a single person are Hindu. They all are Muslim person, but this is a place where it is a Swayambhu Shiva. The places where they worship, they meditate, it is a natural Shiva Linga. And they told me that the place name is the Jalatondo, and those Jalatondo is, and they told me, I asked them that why you are coming here, why you taking the water, and they said that in your country the Ganges river is like a very sacred, like a mother river. So for us this is the river, this is the water from Ganges. And I came to know there was a Hindu king in the 9th century, and he made those temple. I just search one temple, but here there is a very high mountain, that mountain known as the Povitra mountain, and that Povitra mountain have more than 60 to 63 temples scattered there. So the Indonesia government now try to make the road and try to reach up to there. So this is the thing, how it's belong to the Ramayana, it's belong to the cultural and the heritage of the world, and it is related to tourism also. So this is very important thing that and now I want to go to the Malaysia. So I think you all know that Indonesia is still a little bit open for the all, but the Malaysia is not. But the Malaysia had also their Ramayana, and that Ramayana is the Hikayat Seri Rama. And this Ramayana is so important for them. Until 1970, they have their book, the Hikayat Seri Rama. They had their all those, just like the Thailand, they had their puppetry, they had their drama and poetry and those things. But and here the picture is marked in the backside picture. Actually, the Rabindranath Tagore, the Nobel laureate poem went there in 1927, and he wrote in his one book, that in 1927 he saw the palace of the Kraton. Kraton means the palace of the Sultanate in the Indonesia. They are arranging Ramayana inside their palace, and it is not for only one day; it is for 1 month. So it is continue for the 1 month. And then I can show you that in the next slide that how the this place is known as it is a convent cave, and the archaeologist came out something with that cave. And this convent cave give the 1200 centuries Buddhist and Hindu deities, and there they found many things which is related with the Ramayana relation. And there is another one is the top right hand. It is a museum. That museum is called the Balaputra Deva Museum, and I think many of you know about the Nalanda, that Nalanda University in Bihar, that it made by that king. So they still remember that thing, and they made a beautiful museum for his memory. And now Bala, just 1 minute. I have one other thing in the last slide. Yes, and this is the picture of another cave. That cave name is the Batu cave, and you can see the entire Ramayana. Here you can see the Kumbhakarna is lying for the sleeping. So the entire cave made by the Ramayana sculpture. So this is the highest tourism spot for the Malaysia government still now. So we can see that how the Ramayana influenced all over the Southeast Asia. So now I will go to another slide, and this is Laos. So I think Laos is a very small country. It's not like a huge one. But what is the main thing? We Indians, always known as Laos, as the Laos and the Vietnam and the Cambodia, they all are under the leftist government, and they have some fight with the US and those things. But we never came to know about that the Laos have their own Ramayana. So that Lao have the Ramayana is the Fralak and Pralam. And here you can see a beautiful temple. This temple is the more than 1500 century ago. This is a temple of Shiva. And in this temple, everywhere, the Shiva and the Vishnu also, and in this temple, every year, they perform the Ramayana, where in the topmost picture, you can see the Rama and Ravana, the Ravana and I think it is the Indrajit, or so they two are there. So there are many things related with the Laos Ramayana, that Fralak Phalam and the Gopodharavi, and they have another Ramayana also. So then in the next slide, I will show you that here the postal stamp to young Laotian. The smile said there all the things. The drama story have a really pivotal role. So the George Swedes, one of the most respected archaeologist, Indologist of Southeast Asia, he is basically a French. He always said that the Laos is the outpost of Indian culture. So Moshier, he also said that, and the France is doing a lot of research on those things. And here is the Lao Ramayana, another name is the Gopodhoravi. And Gopodhoravi is based on the story of Dundubi. So this is the continued. And I was surprised when I went there. I saw this palace. This is actually the Laos have meant two parts. One is Luang Prabang, their kingdom, and another one is the Paksi or Champa Shak. Champa Shak was an ancient name which is very much related to India. And this is the palace. We went there for the dinner, and on the topmost of the topmost room of the palace, and they asked me that from which country you came, and I said I came from India. And the manager told me that please come. We did something. That palace is now a hotel, and that room is totally decorated. You can see the whole Ramayana scene. So I was so much, you can see that I was so happy to see my culture in 1,000 miles away from India, but they depicted that thing. And here you can see another thing, that the Rama story on the wood carving. So whatever that Southeast Asia actually, what I can say that Southeast Asia always do. Sorry for the interruption, sir. Okay, so the Southeast Asia always focusing in their craft. So that craft work also based on Ramayana story. So that is also a big part of economy and the tourism, because wherever people go, people want to buy something. And it is related, you can see the beautiful work of the wooden work. And there is a temple named Wat Zien Thong. There are so many temples in Laos. I could not give all those temple name. It is in my book. So you can see the beautiful Ramayana work all over there. And now the Cambodia. The ancient Cambodia is the Cambodia. And here it is the scene of the Samudra Manthan. It's a Vishnu Puran, and there's the story of Samudra Manthan. And whole Cambodia is made by most of the place, is made by the ancient Cambodia, is related with the Ramayana and Mahabharata. And they hear the Rama story in the stone, and their Ramayana is known as the Riamkar. And the Riamkar in Cambodia is the ancient Cambodia. You can see the fighting scene over there in the sculpture. And what I want to say here, just on one another point, is that when you did, because what Balaji tried to give you a course on those things, that what you do and what you don't when you do the Ramayana trail. And this is very important, that you have to know the original story. You have to know the study originally, because when I went there, the few guides, they don't give the proper story, and they don't tell us the right thing. So when you did this thing, you have to read and you have to know the history of both the country. And it is acceptable that localization always will be acceptable, but you have to know the original one. The next slide. Hello. Yeah. This is the Rama story of the Bantay Sri temple. That Bantay Sri temple of Cambodia is a very small one. You know the Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat is a huge, huge temple of the world, the Vishnu temple. But the Bantay Sri is a very small one. But the beautiful sculpture, and the government protect those pieces very nicely. They preserve it very nicely. That's why thousand and thousand tourists every year go. And here you can see that another thing is the still now this is the picture of the dancing lady. She is I went there in 2017 and I took the picture from. But see the hair dress, see the dress, the draping of the texture of the textile, everything is. And the side, this picture is from Angkor Wat temple. So it is still the design sense, the art is continuing through the Rama story. So there are immense scope with go through the Ramayana, and there are so many things can happen. A new generation continuing that inner spirit through that Riyamkar performance every day. It is not in a other palace or in a temple. It is in the website of the Cambodian tourism. If you go to Siem Reap, you can see the Rama story every night. If you go to the tuk-tuk or any the station, the airport, they will give that what Shantanuji said, that they will give the brochure about the Ramayana and those things and what you want to see. And here is the Burma. So I am going very quickly because it is not easy to come doing so many research. But here I just for your quick vision I went there. This is the Burmese Ramayana. The Burmese Ramayana is there so many influence coming from the Valmiki Ramayana and the Tulsidas Ramayana and the Bengali Ramayana. I want to say that the Bengali Ramayana, I don't know, I think it is not in the Valmiki Ramayana, but in the Bengali Ramayana, Krittiba Shoja, our very famous, I am a Bengali guy, so I read that Bengali Ramayana, and that Bengali Ramayana say that the Ravana came to do as a priest to worshiping, to help to worship Rama for the killing him. So it is only in Krittiba Shoja Ramayana that Rama offered to the highest post of priest to Ravana, and Ravana came and he take the post of the priest and he did the worshipping of Mother Durga when Rama did it. It is, I don't know, I think it is not in the Valmiki Ramayana. So the Burmese Ramayana, you can get so many things in the Burmese Ramayana which is related with our Bengali Ramayana also. So Burma also have their Ramayana in dance, Ramayana in sculpture, Ramayana in pottery, and here is the oldest name, the ancient name of the Burma was the Ramanna Desha or Brahma Desha, And now the Archaeological Survey of India and the United States also, and the other part of the researcher team, they found the old city. That city is named as the Pure City, and that was belonged from the Vishnu. And that's why it is a new attraction of the Burma. The people are going. It is not only for the tourism, because the people who want to know, there are few people who really want to know. I want to go to Sri Lanka. I want to see all those things for the research. For that's why you have to give the focus. All those things is the archaeology, is the museum, is the craft, is the art. Everything is related, which is related with Ramayana. It is have to be shown to the world that what you have. And in the next slide, I will show you another thing, that this is the Nathaluang temple and Abhayadana temple, two ancient temples of the Burma, and still they try to preserve those temples very good way. In this side, inside those temple, they have, it's a Buddhist temple, but they have in the Nathaluang was the most famous once upon a time is a Vishnu temple, and they have some mural paintings and they have some sculpture related with Ramayana in Burma, because Burma was so actually that the Jambu Deepa and all those things, that time it was not politically divided, and that was the greater part of the Yatra Bharata, and in this is the situation and the spreading of the story is like this way. And here is the Rama story in Burmese manuscript painting also. See that each small things is now related, which is related with Ramayana, is essential for the researcher, it is essential for the tourist, it is essential for the our education system also, because we need to guide our future generation as a true story. So this is called parabaik, and this parabaik made by the natural color on the paper, and it is now preserved in the, it is a story belong from the Ramajat. Ramajat means the Rama Jatra, or the drama of the Rama. So this is the Ramajat painting. And the next one I will show you, this is a young man. This young man is Kenneth Foam, and what he is doing actually the puppetry, the leather puppet show, what you see in Thailand, in Indonesia, everywhere. He continued this thing in San Francisco. He make it's not a heavy puppet, because for the heavy weight maybe some problem is coming, but when it is a lightweight puppet, and he tried to popular it in San Francisco, and it is a one kind of convey his respect to his country also, and to the heritage also. So I am very hopeful that the new generation see that so many new generation, they try to learning Ramayana puppetry from the Guru. And this is the last country. This is the Philippines. And Philippines have their, Philippines is basically very far from India. But once upon a time, I told that there is a maritime route, and the Sumatra, Burma, Borneo, Philippines, everywhere it was a relation with this trading. And there is a three, actually they have three Ramayana. One, the written Ramayana is Maharadya Lavana. Another one is Daranjan. Another one is Hudhud. So here you can see that how they perform Ramayana, the whole young batch. And I went to, I saw them in 2016, and last year also 2019. We were in the Philippine teams of Ramlila. They did the Ramlila in Ajotha, and the IPAC, the Stephen is the manager, and the whole new batch, whole new generation. Nobody is belong from Hindu community. They all are Christian. They all are Christian, but they said that who played the role of Rama, he is only 19 or 20. I asked, you enjoyed the thing? Why you are doing this thing? He said, I don't know anything. But what I know, that I make, inside my own self, it's a respect is growing for the cultural heritage. So what I want to say, that the Ramayana is like a thread of heritage, which is bound us like a garland of our cultural heritage. So we will have to support, we have to support each other. And you can see that in next slide, that this is the dance. This dance is known as the Singkil. Singkil is the dance where the 4 or 8 bamboo, they crisscross, and then this is the in the middle, Shita. Shita is dancing, and those dances famous in Assam also, in the northeast part of the India also. And they said that this dance is famous for because Shita want to try to the all the obstacle of her life. So she practiced this thing. So it is the Singkil is very famous in Philippines, few part of the Philippines because, and then another one is the Hudhud and the Daranje. So what is Hudhud? Actually, there was a beautiful rice terrace. I think those who are in agriculture sector, they know that in Southeast Asia, people believed in the uh, mm, what the rice structure. They do the agriculture in this way. They beautifully they carve the land in the and they do the fermentation. They do the thing. And this rice terrace culture is very famous in Philippines also. And once upon a time, the Mark Juan or Francisco, the one of the greatest Indologists of Philippines, he went there and he stayed a few days there and he listened that the people are doing something when they're cutting the rice from the field. They are they are singing a song like a chanting, and he tried to listen that what he chant, what they chant, what they sing. And slowly he came to know that this is the verse from the Ramayana. So they actually chant the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. It is a mix of Mahabharata and Ramayana and 72,000 lines there. And this is called the Dharanjane. And then the Dr. Juan Francisco stayed there and he spent 1 year there. He learned the language, then came back and then written it in English. That the Maharadia Lavana and how the Maharadia, the epic explored the underlying themes of life and death and courtship and the love and those political thought and symbol, everything. So in this way, I can say that the whole Asian, Southeast Asia is like a necklace made by the Ramayana, but they are in the dance, in the art, in the sculpture, everywhere. And this was my journey of 5 years, and I write this book. There's a Ramayana journey transformed in a book. So Ramayana footprints in Southeast Asia and the 7 countries. And I did extensively all those proofs. That's why anyone who may be researcher or not researcher, but you can get the original thing because I give all the bibliography, all these authentic places and all those what I used in my book, everything you can get in my backside in my book. So I think it is helpful for all of you, and thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to send my thoughts, to share my thoughts with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Anitaji. It was very welcoming. Just a minute, please. Just a minute. Yes. Guys, hope you are able to see. And thanks a lot, Anitaji, for sharing that. And all the DMCs, hope you have seen that from the Anitaji's lecture, that so there is huge amount of Southeast Asia, or you can consider that also as a market, point number one. And a lot of things the Southeast Asian countries are doing to develop Ramayana Yatra or Ramayana Trail in their regions, and something that which we can think of. And as Sri Lanka, for Sri Lanka, we have a better advantage. So that the actual story happened itself in Sri Lanka. So that advantage is there. So that has to be taken and going forward. Thanks a lot, Anitaji.
Thank you so much. If anyone want to ask anything,
if anybody wants to ask any question, please, like anyways, admin, please see if there is anyone raising the hands, and then please unmute them, please.
Sure, sir.
Tianji, please.
Yeah, I'm Tuan Jamion. I'm a national tour guide lecturer here in Sri Lanka. Anitaji, you have vast knowledge of, the Ramayana episode. I mean, from your experience as a national guide in a national
Yeah.
museum in Thailand. So I think it's really nice if you also could, come to Sri Lanka. We can, have a conference or whatever, just to visit the sites and all that. I think Balaji sir will also be there. I think, of course, in the near future. So it's really interesting. So to gather all these facts and our versions also, because our version is a little bit different. So like the other countries in Myanmar and Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, and Philippines. So it has a different sort of different phase or whatever, different version. So it's also interesting. There may be conflicts, but still it's interesting. We should not bring it to a point where there is conflict between the cultures. It should be accepted. No?
Yeah.
It should be accepted by all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Actually, sir, thank you, sir. Actually, what you point out, this is very important, because what I try to say, that maybe they have all the Ramayana is not same. The different countries, different adaptation, different localization. So maybe some in one country maybe Rama is hero. So the another country they are worshipping Lakshmana, and some country they are also focused on the Ravana, and the sometime even if you go through the Indian Ramayana various parts, and you can see that the few Ramayana is saying that the Sita is the daughter of Ravana. That is also happened. So I think it is not the time to go to this conflict. But when it is come for the as a major thing for the tourism, as a major thing for the next generation, we have some duty, we have some responsibility to tell them that it is our heritage, it is our thing, and your Sri Lanka is the place of that thing. Because the never Rama or Lakshmana or anything happened in the Thailand or Burma or Indonesia or Philippines. But they have that. I especially because I met so many people, I talked to them, and I was surprised to see the zeal of the positiveness. That is very important. That okay, maybe that story is different, maybe the name also different. That's not a matter. The matter is that
Yeah.
we should go together, that we should go
Yeah.
together. And if you what you say that yes, it is a very blessing moment for me if I can go to your country, I can share my presentation, I can talk to your students, I can meet the people, because people should know that how the other countries have followed this epic. It is only a
Yeah.
epical
Thank you
thing.
so much.
Thank you, thank you.
Great, great.
So much,
So,
Anitaji.
yes, Tianji, what we'll do is I will discuss with the SLTBB, Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau, and we'll see that we can bring Anitaji one day to Sri Lanka also to share her knowledge on what is happening across the globe and what we can adopt from the Sri Lankan perspective.
Yes, yes, that will be very good. Oh.
Yes. And and anybody else, please. Sunilji, you have raised the hand. Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Anita ji.
Namaste. Thank you.
Yeah, we understand with a lot of experience in guiding as well. She was the best resourceful lecturer other than Mr. Bala during this course of 8 days. And I think you mesmerized all participants deeply.
This is my privilege.
Yeah. So, but while listening to your lecture, really, we felt guilty of not making our land of opportunities for this Ravana across the borders, because you have gone through the various cultures, you have learned, you have seen for yourself, and you have got the opportunity to mix with them, so you understand many cultures. As our fellow guide said, I take this opportunity to invite you together with Mr. Bala to Sri Lanka soon after this COVID.
Okay.
And now we have got, as I know, now we have got a very active chairperson in our SLTDA. I think she would definitely get you all like resourceful persons like you get invited and make a boost for our tourism as well. And this concept of Ramayana Museum for Sri Lanka, that's what I got into my mind from your lecture. A Ramayana Museum,
Yes.
because most of these incidents, the whole Yuddhakanda and parts of other kandas had happened here. So that is very important point. And I saw during your this images, showing images, I remember one UNESCO heritage site
Yes.
image
In
was
Burma.
there.
Yeah, in Burma.
What is that Ravana site or some other?
No, actually, it is a site of whole city which is belong from the Vishnu city, you know. And as the Rama is the avatar of the Vishnu,
Yes.
so they are founding something from there. Okay,
Yes.
and they are trying to. I attend a conference in CMU SPAFA. The SPAFA is the one of the best. What can I say that they are doing a lot of archaeological survey in Southeast Asia. So they're trying to put together many archaeologist department from the different part of the globe. And the Burmese people came from the archaeological survey of the Burma, and they said that if we stuck in the point that no, there were no Hindu king in before the 10th century or like that, then we could not go actual history. So we want to know the history, and that's why they again try to reopen that site, the Pew City, under UNESCO Heritage. And they are founding very different thing. I just a moment, I don't know how much they go, the new thing is coming. But what you say, na, that is very important, that Sri Lanka have to give the focus on the museum development.
Yes.
Because this Ramayana trail is very important for your country, not only for the tourism, but for the history also. That
As
for
well.
the history also. And
why I asked this question, because we have got already UNESCO heritage 8 UNESCO heritage sites. So maybe Mr. Bala, you can propose kind of such a site so that it would get more promotion. I mean, not only for tourism. It's a part of history as well.
That's a very important thing for me also. You know that I will be very happy if it will be happen.
Yes. Okay. And lastly, as I saw many troops, I mean cultural playing troops. So I feel even we could organize. I mean, our country, pioneering by the SLTDA, they could organize a Ravana danzo Ravana drama troupe.
Yes.
Which can travel through all these countries. So it's a exchange of cultural heritage as well as this interrelations between the countries. So much of these proposals are in mind, but it's I think Mr. Bala, you can play a great role in that.
I'll definitely take it forward, and even I have the similar idea of making a ballet or a dance troupe or a theater.
Yes.
And you already in Sri Lanka, already in Kandy, certain theaters are already getting played. So
that's
all we need is the script. Yes, all we need is a proper script for the Ramayanam also to get the theater happening.
Yes, this and another point, the mask industry, that's very popular in our country. We have got plenty of masks, but this making Ravana masks would boost something else.
Extraordinary.
I mean, yes, extraordinary.
Extraordinary, yes.
And that wood carving and leather work in Ravana episode as well.
That's the thing. The economy also based on that Ramayana thing. Na?
Yeah.
So you can make it. So people when come to your country, they want to buy something.
Yeah, little souvenirs.
Yeah, the souvenirs. And I show you that in Surabaya, they are the Muslim countries, but they are preparing so much Ramayana and Mahabharata souvenir.
Yeah, we have got plenty of souvenirs for the Europeans and other visitors, but not for Ramayana visitors. That's my point. So that's very important. So as Mr. Wala, does the session goes to end by now or after some time?
Yeah. We are almost another 15 minutes. We should be able to close the session.
All right. Okay. I take this opportunity, just 1.5 minute.
Yeah.
I take this opportunity to appreciate your all endeavors of planning and delivering this online course.
Thanks
about Ramayana to Sri Lanka. And this as well, I thank all the guest speakers who have come online and briefed us about the experience and delivered some course details as well. And we appreciate your professionalism and this commitment and dedication to this coursework as a mentor and lecturer. So please accept our heartiest gratitude. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Ji. Edwin, if there are anyone, please allow them to ask some questions, please.
Sure, sir.
Hello.
Ruan De Silva, please.
Hello. Thank you for giving this opportunity. And I have few questions from you, madam. Yeah, this is not regarding Ramayana. Just a question which is related to our profession.
Yeah.
First question is how many hours you work as a tour guide where you work right now?
Actually, I was the volunteer guide of National Museum, Bangkok. So we are doing a totally voluntary work for the National Museum. And we have a very big team. And in every week, I spent, we have only free, because 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday, is free for the free guiding for the tourists. And I spent my time there. It is take almost 2.5 hours to 3 hours only for the museum, because the museum is very big.
Okay, clear. And the second question, so are you paid based on hours or per day?
Pardon me, I don't understand.
Yeah, as a tour guide, you are paid.
No, I was a volunteer.
You are volunteer. You are volunteer.
Yes, so this is the organization name is the NMV, National Museum Volunteer. They are working in the whole world. So I am the member of the NMV. So I don't take a single pie from my last 5.5 years, but it is for your profession you have to take. That's the different thing. But we don't. I don't pay it by my museum.
Oh, okay.
This is my passion.
Your passion. Okay, thank you. And the third question, does a guide play a very big role in inbound industry?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, madam, and have a nice day.
One more thing. I want to ask you or tell you, Madam Anitaji. You just said that the national guide is the most important in the field, tourism field. So that is true, actually.
Yes.
He's actually he can be a brand ambassador. He can be a what do you call an unofficial ambassador of a country.
Yes.
Yeah, he opens doors and windows to the world.
And for that, I have to say one thing. I don't say this thing because for that guiding, National Museum volunteer arranged every year a guiding course. And no one can do the guiding, otherwise they give the permission and we got a batch. We have to give the examination. After passing that examination, then we only go to the guiding. Because what happened in Cambodia, you just want to say, there are so many guides from the government side also. In our country also I saw. But if you don't give them a proper guideline of guiding, proper course of guiding, then no one can give that thing. And another one thing, as a guide, we always study every day, every time, how much you learn, that is help you. Because maybe the course is maybe the 4 month or the 6 month. It is not possible to cover all the history of a country. But it is not only for the Ramayana. For the guide, you have to know all the history of your country in a very deep way, because the people come from Mexico, people come from Germany, people come from America, and they will ask a different question. So if you want to give a real picture, you have to know the real thing. You have to learn that thing. And for that, you have to make a good committee who can take care of that thing. And a National Museum volunteer is a NMP, I am very proud for my organization that we are totally working as a volunteer, but we are give an example to many countries that how can one guide can give like an unofficial ambassador of a country in this way.
Yeah, the tourism authority in Sri Lanka trains actually every year 4 different types of guides, categories of guides. That's the national guide who takes with him more than 7 people in a group, and the ones who take less than 7, that's the national chauffeur guide, and then chauffeur guide, and then we have the area guide and the site guide, who is only confined to a certain area and certain site. So there are 4 categories, and all trained and licensed by the Sri Lanka Tourism Authority, and they actually strict on that. And we pay yearly our license fee to renew our license and to practice as a national guide or the other categories. Thank you.
Okay, nice.
That's why information.
Yeah, nice information. Actually, what I personally think, Pala, that it is my experience told me that it is not only for the matter of that organization or the paid or not paid, or the license or the not license. Actually, what my understanding that you have to love your culture. Then you can got all the sense of the guideline. Then you can do that a very good guide. And I believe that here all the guides are same follow that thing. So thank you very much. It's a very fruitful discussion.
Just I want to add one thing to both the discussions was just if you have to compare the entire the guide as a guide, if you have to compare guide with something else in theater or in a film or movie. So there may be a lot of technicians. Maybe you can compare them with your tourism department or whatever productions departments. Whatever it is, at the end, who is there in front of the screen is the hero or the main actors. Those are the guides. So whatever the government does, tourist will not see. Whatever guide says, that is only tourist will be seeing it. Whatever guide says, that means the government is saying, that means the country is saying. So whatever the guide says, that is only which is going to the tourist. That is only what tourist is going to believe. Yeah. So any more, please? We have last 6 minutes to go. Any more, please? And I just repeat, today, by end of today, there will be 65 certificates will be distributed to your registered email IDs. 45 yet to complete their the first 6 papers. And if there are any, I will be putting the link also whose test papers are not complete in the WhatsApp group. Try to finish it off by end of tomorrow at most. So that we'll review the test papers once again the day after tomorrow, and we'll try to close the certification part at the earliest possible. For the 65 who have completed by end of today or at most by tomorrow morning, you'll be getting it in your emails. Any more questions, please?
Hello, Balaji.
Yeah, Sujiva, please.
Yeah, I'm Sujiva De Silva.
Yeah,
sir, I first got to know about Ramayana as a child when I was in school in the 1970s. It was a strip cartoon that I saw in a tabloid. We had tabloids in those days that consisted totally of strip cartoons, and those strip cartoons ran on for months or sometimes for years. And one of those cartoons was based on Ramayana. that was how I came to know about Ramayana as a child. And the memories were brought back to me when I listened to your very lively portrayal of the story, Balaji and Amitaji. So one striking feature that I noticed was that even in our Sri Lankan cartoon in those days, Ravana was depicted as the villain. So we didn't like Ravana when we followed that story. We didn't like Ravana. Rama was the hero, and of course Lakshmana and Hanuman. And in those days, we didn't have so much awareness about the Sri Lankan factor in the story. Now it's different, of course. Sri Lankans have the perceptions have changed in Sri Lanka, and people know more about Ravana and all that. And then it was heartening to come to know the fact that even in the original version by Pandit Valmiki, Ravana is not portrayed as a villain or as evil. He was just a person. He's seen as a person who is fulfilling his duty, who's following his dharma. And it's very encouraging to see that even Indians see him as not as an enemy, not as a bad guy, but as somebody who had a role to play. Yes. It all comes together. I mean, everybody has a role to play in the big picture. So he was just fulfilling his duty. And of course, actually, I'm a German-speaking national guide. I work mostly for the German-speaking Europeans. On my tours, I make it a point to stop at, for example, Sita Amman Temple, Sita Elia Temple, even when it's not in the program. Very often it's not in the program, but when I pass that place, I stop there. And when I'm approaching the place, I always give them a summary of the story, and I see some people nodding their heads when I tell them the story, because they already know the story from some other Asian country. They have been to other Asian countries, and they have experienced the epic or some version of the epic from there, and they start nodding with understanding. And now, armed with Balaji's new insights and Anitaji, yours too, I can give them a better picture. It's our shared culture. It's not only Sri Lanka, it's India and the whole of Southeast Asia. So it's our shared culture, and probably it's part of. It's becoming a part of global culture too, because even Europeans and the people in the rest of the world becoming interested in the values upheld in epics like this. Thank you very much for what you have provided us with, all these insights and understanding. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Sujay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So, thanks a lot. And it is true. I mean, when we comes to couple of years, maybe a decade back, what happened was, so we don't have this social media, internet ability of connecting to the entire world on the small mobile screen or on the small laptop screen. So when the things were passed, by the time it reached to the end person, the versions got changed. So now we are able to communicate it in a proper way. So things are getting better, and we are getting into, I'm definitely sure we're getting into a better world.
I want to say just one thing, Bala, in this, because here, so I got so good response. I can see all those SMS also, and this interaction session. So for the guides also, and for the tourism department, I have a kind request. Oh, if the sound is audible?
Yeah, please, ma'am. Now you can.
Yeah. So I have a kind request to all of you that if possible to read my book, because then you can get so many more because in slides, it's not possible to give all the information. But if you go through the book, then you can get the very clear picture of all 7 countries of Southeast Asia. And that will be helpful for your guide also. That is a very important thing, because then because you know that before this book, there are several Ramayana book here, but I don't say the story. I want to show that how Ramayana is worth still now in the life of so many countries. And that is very important to know other also. So this is a kind request if you like it.
Yeah. I think Anitaji, I will try to, means even I am looking for a publisher there, because we printing it in India and taking it to Sri Lanka will become an expensive thing for them. So we'll try to find someone in Sri Lanka itself who can produce it, reproduce the work in Sri Lanka. So even I am working on that. I will give you the lead once again.
Okay. Thank you for it. That will be easier for them.
Yeah, it will be easier for them. Yes.
If I may add something to that, sir, madam.
Yeah, may I know who's this? Sanjeeva, is
I'm
it?
Sanjeeva. I'm Sanjeeva once again.
Please,
yes. So I tried to buy Balaji's book from Amazon, but Amazon India doesn't let me buy it because I'm not in India. They find my location. They see that I'm not in India. So if I do buy it, I have to go get it from Amazon.com, where it's more expensive actually because it is
more expensive. You can try the Kindle version if you want it.
Yeah, that is the thing.
Yeah,
the Kindle version is
download it on your mobile itself.
Yeah, even the Kindle version I couldn't get from Amazon India. I had to get it from Amazon.com. So then it becomes more expensive automatically. So if you kindly can publish the two books here, I mean through a Sri Lankan publisher or print it in India and sell it here in Sri Lanka, that might be a better idea probably.
Yes.
Okay. But I think in my book also available in Kindle. But what Balaji said, that is very important. If it is possible, then it is more helpful.
Yeah, it is possible, G. I'm already shortlisted a couple of publishers in Sri Lanka. So, even my current publisher.
So we can do something.
We'll try to get it reprinted in Sri Lanka, so that will be more economic for the local crowd there actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So and I want to add one more thing. All the DMCs, if you can just put a hi or wave on your screens. All the DMCs especially. So all the DMCs. Hi. So all the DMCs, what I want to do is maybe another 2 or 3 days. We will be putting a DMC registration form on the RamayanaYatra.com. Okay. This one, what after seeing your enthusiasm and after seeing your support, what we thought we need to make something for you also. Like how we discussed about reaching the right sales channel. So getting a bigger room for you in taking the people. So if in case you are interested in making a unique trail or unique itinerary or something like that, please do register on it, and we'll have a couple of meetings again. When I come there also, I will personally, whoever is registered, will personally meet once again. And how to take the Ramayana itinerary forward, we'll discuss with you and also with the authorities once again. So the interested DMCs, please do register on that. So DMCs plays the major role when the product is going, as the guide plays the major role once the tourist is inside the country. The DMCs plays the major role to bring the tourist into the country. So we'll keep a registration form for open maybe another 2 or 3 days, and I'll shoot all the mails, or maybe I'll update you in the WhatsApp group. So please do register, and we'll have a separate discussion once again on how to make this happen. Not only in the discussion, how to get the things move forward and getting that itinerary proper, getting the adding all the guides who have been participated now. So how to involve them in training, taking forward the tourists for that particular itinerary, what you guys all froze on, and we will work on all those stuff. Just I want to make a point, just in the 2-3 days, we'll make the form ready, and please do register on that. And I find last 2-3 questions, if you can please say, then we'll close it off. We're already 4 minutes late. Hi, ma'am. Yeah.
Excuse me. I would like if you can send us also the DMCs who are interested, the name and the telephone number or anything, so that we can have contacts with them.
Yes. I will do that. We'll anyhow do that. Yes.
Thank you.
So once I come down there, maybe after this COVID pandemic, so the entire team, because this is the first team which has come with the complete, I'm very happy, very blessed that you all liking the session. So we all need to come together once again and driving more number of batches and get the country right. And we all should be very happy to be one among the first batch of the completion of the tour, the program.
Okay, Balas, I would like to request this first group that information that data, please hold it as a batch number 1,
Yes,
as that WhatsApp group and also an email group. You can
Yes.
share in the future update, and we also can learn, and we also try to help to develop this Ramayana Yatra trail in our country, Sri Lanka.
Yes, please.
If this standard of the guest and also the tours and everything with our professional knowledge and the experience, how to build up the ties between the both countries and the other region also.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you
Balaji,
continue.
I'm Sujiva
Sujiva.
Silva again. Yes, if you could kindly keep the WhatsApp group running and let everybody make comments, because from today onwards it doesn't have to be confined to the official announcements. If you let everybody post to the group, probably we could use it as a channel. I mean, everybody who has done this, who has followed this course, will be a member.
Definitely, yes.
Keep communicating using that.
Bala, I have a suggestion. I think you already did it. If because it is a beautiful workshop for 8 days, and if you have any YouTube channel, that will be very good to recording all those.
Anitaji, what we did is we have complete recording of all the 8 days.
Okay.
So, I want to put it to the tourism board once. So because when we are putting on the YouTube, it is going to the entire world.
Okay.
So even the Germans, everybody will be listening. So here we are discussing some internal issues also. What we have.
No, you can cut that part.
Yeah, the edit part I have to complete it, or at least I have to make it ready for these people privately.
Yes.
Some method has to be utilized. So I'll be discussing with the tourism promotional bureau. That is the reason I have not shared it till now. Once all the 8 days is complete, today we are completing it, I will just present it to the tourism promotional bureau, and we'll take the call on how to give the recordings to these people once again.
So if I may add something to it, I'm Sujiva De Silva again. You can, when you have the video ready, you can actually upload it to YouTube itself, but make the video unlisted. If you make
that's what we'll do.
By default, it's public and visible to everybody. It can be searched for and all that. If you make the video unlisted, it will be there and it will be accessible only to those who have the link.
Yes.
If you send the link to property, for example,
actually, what we are planning is we are trying to put the videos in our place and trying to give you all the user ID and password access on maybe on ramayanyatra.com old sessions or something. So we will give you the login ID and passwords where you will only be having access to view the videos.
Right. Okay.
That work is going on. The technical work is going on. Ma'am, please. You're waiting for quite a long time.
No tickets, no? That's the problem. Just no question, just to say thanks, big thanks, and to hope to say that I'm going to miss these sessions. Every day we took this habit of being with you for 1-2 hours, and that was a nice experience. And there was a guide who proposed that when you come, you should bring us to the tour. I think this is a good, a good idea for us to experience ourselves the quality of what we take.
Yes. I think just to add that point, Madam, Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau is also thinking on the same lines to conduct a proper tour. I don't know how far it will be materialized, but they are seriously working on it. Once it is materialized, we'll let you know. So planning for a proper tour of the entire Ramayana along with the first batch in real time. So that is one what we want to look into. And like on the first day, how on the first day, the chairperson, the general lady, as Ms. Fernando has given the input. So Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority and Promotion Bureau together tried to introduce Ramayana festival in Sri Lanka for the first time in 2020. But because of this COVID pandemic, it got postponed. It is likely to start in 2021. So, and they are trying to conduct a 10-day Sri Lanka Ramayana festival in Sri Lanka going forward every year.
Okay.
So every year, that is one initiative what Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau is taking up. It is actually supposed to start in 2020, but because of this COVID situation, it got postponed. But it's good that helped us all to get together once and start with a bigger bang maybe in 2021.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much for all this work that you put together. And
Thanks a lot.
that's good to know that we will keep in touch through this DMC registration so that we can implement what we have learned with you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Bala sir, good evening.
Good evening, Kumar. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, Balaji sir.
Yes.
First of all, like on behalf of Sri Lanka Tourism, on behalf of all the DMCs, on behalf of all the national guide lecturers, tour guides, and the site guides, and the other people participated for this forum, the big thank you and big namaskar to everybody. Aiboan, and thank you very much for such a wonderful and evaluating such an insight of Ramayana and Ravana episode of Sri Lanka and India. So we have learned lots, and I think like as a DMC, I think like we have all gone into the depth of Ramayana, and now we know how to input and identify the customer's mind and input to their client's requirement and how we should approach and how we should, and also the learning point for me as a DMC, how we should pitch this Ramayana into the world, not only India. I feel like now we used to get like customers from UK and like the people who are like lives in UK, South Africa, Kenya, all the like Indian origins, like who are migrated during the colonial time. So they are interested and they have traveled to Sri Lanka, like especially the Gujarati people, and they always travel to Sri Lanka and they look for Rama places, and like we do the tailor-made program with along with the Buddhist and like sightseeing, and we put some couple of Ramayana sites also. So it's a great opportunity for us. Now it's like we have to pitch it in a different mode for the each and every customer, especially like it's a niche market. And I'm sure like now what Anita ji says, like now she has gone into like in depth of like different part of the Southeast Asian country, and like where they still Ramayana was popular, and Sri Lanka is more popular. And in fact, like recently also we had a meeting with like Sri Lanka Tourism, not recently, before the COVID comes, like I was in the Ramayana festival group also with Balaji, and we happened to be part of the task meeting with Sri Lanka president, and the president straight away said like, when we went for some other meeting, and he said, no need to do any other tourism promotion, just promote Ramayana. That's the simple word he said. So I still remember, like he keep on telling only the president he said in month of December, just focus on Ramayana. And in 2 years back, when Narendra Modi ji came to Sri Lanka, and he addressed in the parliament, and he simply says that the Ramayana is the best tourism into Sri Lanka, and we must focus and develop Ramayana tourism to Sri Lanka. So there is a lot of potential we have in Sri Lanka to develop and enhance the Ramayana and tourism and the cultural collaborations and cultural tie-ups. And also like I wish to say that like a lot of Indian community still lives in Sri Lanka. Nearly about 1 million people are like who brought up by the British people. So the Indian genetic people are still living in Sri Lanka. So we have a very good cultural relationship between the both countries. So it's a great opportunity. And once again, thank you for lovely presentation, and thank you for everything. And once again, thank you for everything. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I will be so happy if really what you say just now, that your president said that only Ramayana tourism can do it. It is really fact, sir. I realized that thing when I went Southeast Asia. I saw that thing, that it is, you can, even in Thailand, they have a textile cluster who have only made the saris and the silk only for the Ramayana actor. I present a paper in Delhi on that, the textile community, that the textile department, that how one epic can help with the textile department also. So there are a lot of scope. So it will be very good if I can go one day and I can meet all of you and give my presentation to before all of you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and we will be the host for you when you come to Sri Lanka, and we'll take care of for everything when you are in Sri Lanka. For sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Balaji
so
sir,
much.
for your
Thank you.
family, everybody.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you soon. See you very soon. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Thank you. Sure, Tia.
Thank you.
Yes. Madam, please.
Balaji, just, yeah, it's really striking our minds now that, yes, despite the fact that most of Ramayana, maybe not most, but a great part of it happened in Sri Lanka, we have not developed as much as other countries that where it did not happen have performed and everything, the story, right? The history of Ramayana. And maybe just, except if I missed an email, but I don't think so. I got to know about this training just by a newspaper article. Despite being a registered travel agency. So maybe if you want to have more participants, because I think so many people could benefit from this kind of training, maybe just make sure that SLTDA is making an email to all registered tour guides or registered EMC.
Sure.
I'm sure you would have more people participating, because we didn't know just 2 days before, by chance, I would say, this information came through the newspaper only.
Yeah. Sure, I will take the feedback. I'll just put it to the for you to send the details. Yeah, Kaushilaji, please.
I didn't speak last few days, so therefore I would like to thank you. You managed to provide us with maximum teaching in very limited period of time. Therefore, it was confusion at the beginning, but at the end, so we learned much. Therefore, very thank you very much for you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Okay, guys, can we wind up today? All of us. And one thumbs up for like all the time. One thumbs up again today. Great. I, Bhuvan, and please, who have not completed the test papers, please finish it off. I, Bhuvan, nice talking to you all. Thanks a lot, Anitaji. Thanks a lot.
And
Thank
see
you
you
so
soon
much,
in Sri
Balaji.
Lanka. See you soon in Sri Lanka.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Yes, we're looking forward.
Thank you so much to
Thank
all
you.
of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
Take
much.
care and be safe.
Thank you.
Yeah, be safe.
Thank you, Balaji. Gonna miss you all.
Thank you. Musawwir ji, please.
Balaji, thank you making Ravana as a good person to us and to the entire world. And it's a really nice thing.
Thank you so much.
We have learned about Ravana, a bad thing, but now we are in a good place. Thank you.
I'm George Bala. Thank you very much. I don't want to take much of time. Thank you introducing Ramayana as a very prospective, tourism product, other than other things of the Ramayana story. And thank you, Miss Anita, telling us all about what the other countries are at it. So it's very interesting. Thank you very much. Thanks. So keep it up. Keep in touch.
Thank you very much, Balaji sir, for the informative workshop, and
Thank
hope
you,
to see you again. And also wishes to goes to the lady Anita ji. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bala and the crew. So that you have done a very good job for us, and you fine-tuned our knowledge and everything, so which we can share in the future. Thank you very much, and hope to see you and listen to you again.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Balaji and Anita ji. Namaskar.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Very interesting session all 8 days, and we hope to get more and more knowledge about Ramayana Yatra in future. Thank you very much, and my wishes goes to everybody who participated this session. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Okay, thanks a lot, and we are ending the session now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you once again.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Namaste. Namaste.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you very
Bye,
much.
Bala. Bye.
Ayubowan. Namaskar.
Ayubowan.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.